What's going on, guys? My name's Quinn and I decided to make a little video on how to install LED bulbs in your car. So, I'm doing LED dome lights and map lights, or whatever you want to call them, for my car. I already got them already installed. This still will be a how-to video though. I'm going to do an LED trunk light, LED reverse lights, and LED license plate lights. So, first of all, the reason I want to do this because the lights, literally, they just look brighter and better. I'm just going for super white, but you can also get them in different colors. This is a normal bulb. The size of it is a T10 bulb. You can buy them at Canadian Tire for, geez, I don't know. Two of these bulbs are like $5 a Canadian Tire down where I live here in Canada. But, these LED bulbs you can buy off eBay, and I bought this whole kit for my car for, it was about $10 I think, with no tax or no shipping. And that comes with a bunch of LED bulbs. So, a couple of problems I ran into. All the interior lights work fine. They never had any problems with flickering or anything, but my exterior license plate lights started flickering right away. Now, I'm guessing it's because the bulbs are very cheap, and they just aren't working as well as they could. Like I said, I'm not complaining. I paid like $10 with no shipping on them. But also, outside, I'm thinking maybe there's like a power difference, and maybe the bulbs need resistors or something. I don't know. So without further ado, let's get into installing these lights. We'll be installing these lights into an '01 Civic, which the steps will be the same for an '01 to '05 Civic as well. Let's get started. Let's do this. Okay, so what I did, took a little flathead screwdriver like this here, and you got your plastic covering it. And for the '05 Civics, there's a little notch here, and you just put your flathead screwdriver in, and you flip her out like that. That's probably the hardest part about this whole thing, honestly. It's a bit of a pain in the ass to get that thing out of there, or at least it was for my car. But, yeah, that's what you do for the '05 Civic. You got a notch right there. Any other car, just figure out how to get that out yourself. Don't break it, and that's it. So, I already got my LED bulbs in right here, but pretty much you'll just have all stock bulbs like this one here. I'm going to leave that in to show like the difference. So what you're going to want to do is you literally just pull your bulb out, and let's pretend that's a stock one, and you get your LED bulb and you put her in. So very simple. It doesn't really need much of a video to explain, but one thing to remember, if you put in the LED bulb the wrong way, it won't light up. So you'll start freaking out. Oh man, why is my bulb lighting up? Shit. You'll think it's broken, right? So yeah, just remember that you got to flip the bulb around. And if you put it in the wrong way, there's a very, very small risk that you may blow a fuse. Very small risk, but it did happen to me. So, yeah, that's just something to remember. I thought I fucked something right up, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, let's just check the fuse. And, of course, the fuse was blown, and luckily I had a spare. So, here's the differences. Here is our stock light. And here is our super bright one there. New LEDs. Very good. The LEDs also use a lot less power as well, so that's good. And they look a lot brighter at night. Makes your car look nice too with that white look. Alright, so yeah, I got the cover back on. Here is the LED, and that's also daytime. And there is a normal stock bulb. So as you can tell, the difference quite nice, eh? Now for the license plate bulbs, you need to go find your license plate harness here. And so yeah, this is where the bulbs go into. I got my trunk up and I'm just sitting in the trunk right now. So what we're going to want to do is you just squeeze the two ends, and look, I already had that loose there, but you squeeze the two ends of this harness and pop it out, and that is exactly where your T10 bulb is going to go. So these bulbs here on the right, these ones right here, are the ones that I put in my interior, and they all worked fine. They worked amazing, actually. I never had any problems, and they've been in for about 6 months now. Now, the one problem though that I had with them is that the ones outside, these ones here, they started flickering for the license plate, and I'm not sure if those bulbs were just unluckily, faulty, and they had a problem with them, or two, it's just because the bulbs are cheap and because they're on all the time outside, they'll just get some wear and tear after a while and then they'll break, right? So maybe it's just because I hardly use my interior lights that those ones are still good, so that could be an option as well. Or 3, there's more power going to the license plate bulb outside, and these LEDs can't handle it, so they start flickering over time. So you might need like a resistor or something for them, right? So to test that out, I bought these ones. They were only $3 for 2 of them. They're just little LED bulbs, but they have projectors on them, and it says they're specifically for LED bulbs. So I decided to get those instead and test them, but I also got a pack of 20 of these. So if these ones start flickering as well, they'll most likely just be a resistor problem, or just because they're cheap lights and can't handle being used that long. Anyways, we'll figure that out, I guess. So back to the back license plate harness here. You're just going to take the bulb and you're going to pop her right in there. There's the new bulb in there and on, and there's the old flickery bulb that was in there, and if you look close you can kind of see her flickering. Just wait a second, it takes a bit of time. It might be hard to see on camera, but at night it flickers and it looks like it'll give someone a seizure if they had epilepsy, I'll tell you that. So that's not something you want the cops catching you with, so yeah. And there's the new one with the projector. Hopefully that one's just as bright. I think it will be. There you go, so that's off again. I'm going to take this and just put it up in there, and you just clip her right in. There we go, all set. Bulbs are in. I will get a nice shot in at the end of this video. So I am laying in my trunk right now, as you can see, and this is where the LED trunk goes, like in here. So there's only one. Looks like there's room for 2, but there's only one, and it's all you need. It really works because the light in this, it seemed like it was very dim, and these LED bulbs work really well. Never had any problems with this one as well. Never started flickering on me. Pretty much you pull out the bulb, take out the stock one, and you put in your LED one, and you close up this cage. The only tiny problem is that when you put in the new bulb, this cage doesn't close all the way. Not really a big deal. I just leave it like that, and it never caused me any problems. Cage has always stayed there to close too. So that's what the new bulb looks like. Well, I will get a nice shot of that later. Alright, and to get the reverse lights in, you need to take off the 2 clips. There's one here and one down below to move this aside, and you can reveal all the bolts that screw in your light here. So there'll be a bunch of them, and you need, I think it's a 10 mil to get them all out. I just tightened them as tight as I could with my hands, and I just undo them because they really don't need to be any tighter than that, because the lights aren't really bouncing around. So undo all the bolts with your hand, and then pull out your light. Everything's out. Obviously the reverse light doesn't come out. You just got the little harness here, and get the rest of the bolt here. You can undo with your hands. So here I got the dirty old Civ tail light. You can see the reverse projector in there. So what you're going to want to do is just turn it around and get to right about here. This is where the reverse light goes in. Twist it and pull her out, and it doesn't feel like it wants to come out, but it will. It's just a very tight squeeze for these LED bulbs. Okay, so it literally just took me like a literal 10 minutes to put that in there because it's hard to fit in, but I got the bulb in, got this on the end to go into, got the harness on the end to plug in into the car, and then obviously you just twist her in whichever way she goes here. I think it's this way. No, maybe it's this way. Oh, it's this way. There we go. There, you put her in like that, and you just twist her in, just like you normally would when you're changing your reverse bulb. Harness goes in there, and then you're ready to plug her in. And this is the after result. I got them in the front there. Those are the LED white lights. I got some extra ones. I put them in my parking light area. Hopefully they won't flicker. Got the rice interior. Got the old light. Got the new light. Looks great from afar. Makes the interior look nice as well. Can't hard to tell in the video. The fade works too, actually. Here's how the reverse lights look. I love how the reverse lights look. They're extremely bright. They're definitely going to help for backing up. brighter than the running lights. And there's the license plate lights. I'll turn off the reverse lights so you can see the plate lights better. Very nice, eh? Ignore the mess that I have in here because I'm going camping. As you can see, it's very bright. So bright that you can see my camping mess. Quite nice, eh?